Hey guys, and welcome to your updates on the 3rd of November 2023. So we're starting off with our satellites. So currently we have an area of low pressure to our west, and around it we have this big trailing front along it here. And this is currently moving in to Ireland, and it's starting to rain in the far southwest. The radar shows it quite nicely. Some rain approaching the southwest coast, also down through the Celtic Sea towards Brittany as well. Also, this storm has been named by the Spanish Met Service. I can't remember what it was called, but the name starts with D. And if we put the wind speeds on, we can see if we run it forward, the this core of very strong winds heads towards northern Spain, also France as well. Some quite strong winds also inland Spain, and then the winds transfer towards northern Spain and western France. So this storm really does impact northern Spain, western France, and Ireland only gets rain from the storm, thankfully. Again, similarly with Ciarán, the storm should provide more rain than Ciarán, despite there being no warning in force. Now, I believe that Ciarán did track a bit further south than expected, so we actually got less rain than forecasted in the end. Ciarán was a very, very unpredictable system in the sense that it formed quite close to us. So it wasn't until about 12 hours before Ciarán arrived that forecasters actually had a clearer idea of how the system would play out exactly. This is the UKV high-res 5-day forecast then. So we're starting off this afternoon with clear skies, sunshine around. Tonight, though, we'll see that system move in towards Munster in the early hours of the morning and into South Leinster and South Connacht by the early morning. Some heavy rain at times, possibly bring some flooding in a few areas. Beyond that, the rain stalls over the Midlands and east of the country in the morning and fizzles out through the day. Though some showers will just move along the south coast, and the east coast will still see some rain at times on the easterly winds. In the end, the system does clear to the east, and a northerly flow comes in on Saturday night, veering or backing to the northwest on Sunday morning, should I say. And Sunday is a showery day with the heaviest downpours in the west. Though in the afternoon, these showers do actually penetrate inland to the east coast even. So we do see some convection form and take place on Sunday. Because normally in the winter, we don't see convection when the sun is low. It's just not strong enough to get the cumulus clouds over land bubbling up. But I think that we're still just about in the time frame where we can see showers bubble up inlands. Off we go into Sunday night, we see some more showers peppering the western and northern coasts. Monday, same thing. Again, the showers do penetrate inland, especially from Galway down towards Carlow, possibly Wexford and Wicklow, and also in Ulster. And beyond that, we see a little feature coming through the north Monday nights. You probably remember that yesterday and the day before, we talked about a little system moving in, especially towards the south country. This is that system. It's trended, 300, 400 kilometers further south. That's about 300, I'd say, further south. So that's gone pretty much, unless it suddenly trends northwards, and I highly doubt that. Would happen. But famous last words. Either way, now Tuesday. Tuesday is a drier day with some sunshine, quite a lot of it actually, especially in the Midlands, south and east. A few showers in the west and north, and a few bubbling up inlands. Tuesday afternoon. Before we see a system move in from the west Tuesday night, Rain, not too heavy on that one. And then Wednesday, we see some showers brushing the coast of the northwest. Otherwise, it's mainly dry after that system clears through. This is the NAO index observed and GFS forecasted. So we can see that the NAO is negative still, but again, similarly to yesterday's video, it's going to trend towards neutral. I think that's around the 6th or 7th of November. So by then we're neutral, and it stays neutral or even slightly positive into mid-November. And that suggests that some ensembles, like these ones up here, are forecasting the NAO to go more positive, and in turn, the Azores high and the jet stream to move northwards, bringing a different variety of unsettled weather. It will be, I think, a little bit drier with some breaks in the rain due to ridges from the Azores, also milder as well with a more with southwesterly winds being more frequent. So this is what the latest GFS run shows. So we can look at this now. The low pressure tomorrow comes in, bringing rain in the south especially. That clears off, and northwesterly winds follow Monday, Tuesday, bring showers with them. Wednesday we see a bump in pressure from the Azores, and you see this black line. The jet stream is coming northwards, so that, and that shows you that the NAO is going more neutral. This is the current situation. Jet stream goes to the south. The Azores high is displaced and weakens, but it comes back into next week. But still, we are showery, we're wet and windy, and the Azores high does send the ridge quite close to us on Friday, but that's only ahead of the next low, and that barrels in, bringing wet and windy weather into the weekends. And actually, the jet stream goes south after that, so very wet, windy. Although it's not long before a ridge comes back again on the 14th of the month, extending towards the 15th before wet weather comes back again. And we see cooler winds after that. Actually, got quite cold there by the 17th before the ridge comes back on the 18th of November. So you see what I'm trying to hint at. Over the past few weeks, we just saw constant low pressure with a southerly tracked jet stream. But this jet stream we're seeing after like Tuesday or Wednesday is coming northwards quite a lot, as well as the Azores high. It's getting stronger and it's sending ridges northwards. So it's a different variety of unsettled weather. But it's still changeable. It's still all piling in off the Atlantic. There's no real dry spell here. This is the ECM. So here we go, is the ECM run. So again, tomorrow we'll see that low coming in. Again, it's south shifted. Normally these lows are over Iceland. This time they're over Ireland and the UK. Saturday, Sunday. Northwesterlies after that. Jet stream more to the south. Azores high. Tiny little thing. Displaced, weakens. But look at that. This jet stream bumps northwards Tuesday, Wednesday. Brief ridge. Azores high is trying to get stronger. Next low barrels in after that. Before we see again that high pressure over France, is getting stronger as we go along. We get a drier spell around the 10th, quite chilly at nights, but before we see a push of southwesterly winds and wet weather into the weekends, and it keeps going into next week. Though we do have this next ridge, this little bump waiting to our west, and the jet stream, it goes south for a bit, but it comes back north. The UK Met run is looking at this. Okay, so again, tomorrow's low barrels in, bringing some rain, but the strongest winds are well to our south. Thankfully, though it is a named storm for Spain, but the impacts will also be in France as well. And then we go off on Sunday, we see showers. Monday, we see showers as well. Just comes north, a little bump in the size of bars. Tuesday, Wednesday sees a big front coming in. It's, the chart I showed you for the precip on Wednesday morning and afternoon. You would have thought that this front would be a lot stronger than that, actually. So I was surprised at how light the rainfall was on this charts. Where are we? Yeah, I'm surprised at how light that is. I think it may, in reality, be more intense. Um, just from experience, just from experience. Beyond that, we see showery winds again, with the next bump waiting to our west. Just trying to show you how we're seeing ridges between the lows instead of just constant lows right over us, bringing a deluge. Saturday, again, be wet tomorrow. Look at this, a low right over us, spiraling, a washing machine of low, but that is to change. Showery tomorrow, sorry, not tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, before we see a dry spell Tuesday evening, before we see a wet spell Wednesday, showery after that, though the Azores High is sending a ridge in France, and that helps dry us out as well. But the ECM actually has a jet stream, like, it just keeps barreling along right into us, really. So no real ridge here, but from a brief one there on Friday. Very brief. The other runs have it a bit more strong. Before we actually see a return, to the current pattern. Jet stream to the south into next weekends. Washing machine of low comes back. So it's not that straightforward yet, I wouldn't say. I mean, the GEM, I think, I need to say, was also a bit iffy. Was that? Sorry, that was a GEM. That was a GEM, yeah. The ECM earlier today was a bit iffy about it. This is the icon run. Here we go. So we know what's happening. Rain and showers over the weekend, early next week. What's happening after that? We again see the lows shifting a bit further north, but still wet and windy. The Azores High centre ridge on Friday before we see another low come in for the weekends. It's still wet. It's still unsettled. Nothing big is changing. Here we go. Finally, the arpege. Wet tomorrow, showery. Friday, quite cool as well with these northwesterly winds. Same thing on Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, a ridge before a cold front comes in, followed by these westerly winds. So we're seeing a slight pattern change here. The jet stream's coming northwards. The Azores High is getting a bit stronger and closer, and the lows, the centres of these, are shifting northwards. Just a slight change, meaning that it'll be very slightly drier than it is now, and a bit milder as well. What we're actually seeing right now is a cold variety of unsettled. Even though it's not that cold, it's because it's only the 3rd of November. Not going off the snow yet. But if we saw this pattern we have right now in the winter, if we happen to end up, say if we just go here, on the northern side of these lows, like here over Ireland, tomorrow evening, we're drawing in a northeasterly wind on the back edge of this low. We were likely to see marginal snow events in this sort of scenario. So we don't need, right, if it were winter, right, I'm very confident that there'd be some winteriness in this pattern. So it is one of the ways in winter that we can get snow without blocking. I know some of you might not believe me because it's not snowing at all, but I mean, this pattern can give snow. I'm just saying that because autumn patterns can influence winter ones. That is quite evident in a lot of winters and autumns, but I'm not saying anything for sure. I'm merely giving ideas. I'm merely hinting at a few things I've, learned about on my journey of meteorology. Anyway, thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video of constant rain, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.